Hi guys, nice being here again with you. Today I'm going to discuss about a topic that I find it very difficult, All of this because I've been seeing a lot on the internet when it comes to Facebook and all of that. And this is not a topic that I think it's a topic to even smile with, because we're looking at the situation that I've seen the videos from Cameroon and in some secondary schools. What students are doing, it's mostly in the French speaking part of Cameroon anyways, where most students are doing a lot of things in school that, are unacceptable. I would say it because I've been in Cameroon and I know what is happening. I know how it used to be, and now looking at this, the way things are going, it's been going gradually. But this year, just this January 2026, it's like there's a gate for something that has opened for students to be, to go wild. You're seeing students who are coming to school with very dangerous things in their bags, school bags. School bags are meant for books, but you see a student holding a razor blade, a scissors, and a bottle, an empty bottle, breakable bottle. You see a female student coming to school with this sachet whiskey, this whiskey in the sachet. And then you see students in classroom, smoking and drinking wine, drinking alcohol. I'll not say wine, but it's alcohol. And then you see students, making love in school, kissing, going romantic in school among themselves. And it's a lot of them in the classroom doing all of these things. So why I'm saying this is because in one section on the internet, I did mention that in the Anglophone Cameroon that I come from, I hardly see things like this. Maybe our students or our children have started doing this time. I don't know. But, the education that we received and that I know our parents gave us is different. I'm not saying that the French or the Francophone Cameroonians are not doing the best. They are very good, beautiful family. There are still Anglophone students or Anglophone children that are very, very rough and doing the same thing. But it's not rampant like in schools. They might be doing it in the hiding, and they might be doing it even more than the Francophone children. But at the same time, I'm focusing on the school, what is happening in our schools, because looking at it and then looking at the system, educational system, the school system that we have in Cameroon is a very good system. But when you look at these two systems, the English and the French, Francophone and Anglophone system of education, one would say there's a difference. There's a difference only because the Anglophones, they have their own system of education, which I think, of course, the Francophones are benefiting and coming into Anglophone schools because of the language. It's not a big deal. It's not even a problem. And everybody likes to learn what they want to learn. Education is free. Like free as in you study what you want to study. You can study in Chinese, you can study in Russian, you can study in English, you can study in any language. But the systems in these schools are very different simply because when you look at the primary schools, right, this is something that has been going on before we ever came to this life. I'm not saying it's something new or it's something that's just starting. And it's their way. Most schools, Francophone schools, there's a lot of difference. But then these children, I ask myself every time, how is discipline in these schools? How are the teachers? I know it's also because the Minister of Secondary Education, she gave some instructions or some instructions to the schools. The punishment should be limited. You should not touch the child in school. Of course, these are things that most developed worlds are not doing, and most schools even. And when we look at our own days when we were going to school, we will never do that. Correcting children is more like is a community thing. And when we wanted to do something bad, any parent who sees us around doing something that's not good would be the one to correct us. If they have to beat us, they will do that. And they are not scared of our parents because our parents know that these parents will not do something bad. And the bad thing too is some of these teachers punishing the children or, beating the children is something that some of these teachers were doing it as if they had a problem with the parents of the child, or if there's something that they don't like about the child. And it became something like a fight between teachers and students. They were so hard, but I say punishing the children for something they have done in school, it has some limits. But the education that we give to children from home and the guidance, how we guide them in the house is very important, because a child cannot come to school carrying things in the bag, like all these objects that I've said. And parents in the house, some of the parents don't know how the children are doing in school. They don't follow up with their children to know if they have studied, if they are studying, if they have written anything, or if they are preparing for any exams. And these are kind of parents or children that would go wayward and they don't care. They don't care if whatever they do out there, because the parents, all they mind is give them money for, for food, for transport and all of that. When we look at it, you cannot say, okay, in our days we were not doing this. You can't compare that time and now. But educating our children or children's education is something that I don't think any parent should be whole responsible about not bringing up their children right. Because if we can't as parents, we do not expect teachers to do that for us. And I'm not saying that we can give education and the children will not, disturb or become something else. I'm just saying we should take our own responsibilities and do what we are supposed to do. As for teachers, I think the discipline in those schools, they need to do something. I went to Bafoussam in Cameroon some time ago in a school. We were doing a project there. And the English section of the school is bilingual secondary school. The English section of the school, I saw a big difference, a very big difference in behavior and everything, because the discipline master of the Anglophone section in that school, what they were doing to students who were coming is very different from how Francophone students were behaving or were doing things in that very school. I don't know if the school as a school is divided into two. Of course, we know it's English and French. But are they divided into two as in Anglophone teachers should handle things and Francophone teachers handle things according to their culture? I don't think so. A school should be where discipline in school should be in school. It should not be divided because of language. Because what I saw there, I think it was not, I didn't feel like it's supposed to be like that in any school. Because if a discipline master is standing and children are coming in to school, and it's only the English students, because he's from the English side, that he's, following up. Because first of all, is also that most of the Francophone students, when a teacher disciplines a child normally, and that child is that wayward child, the child would talk back at the teacher or fight the teacher back. And these things, I know that most Francophone teachers, they will prefer to live their life and do their thing, don't mind about anything. They go into their classroom. If you are in the class and you are not in the class, it's your business. That's what most of the teachers do, and videos I saw of students escaping from school, jumping from the fence, Francophone students. Honestly speaking, I know Anglophone students do. Of course, they do. But I'm saying this more of going to the violent section where they attack other students and teachers and all of that, and smoking and, doing all sorts of things in school. I just want to let the administration, be it the Ministry of Education, be it the schools and all of that, they should really look into all these things and see how to adjust their system of education and their system of environment, how they deal with students, what happens in school, how students do and then they call on the PTA meeting. This should be something that it should be happening every time, things like PTA meetings should be happening in school all the time, because you will not believe that if you come as a parent, they call a meeting in January and then the next meeting will be coming up maybe in April or May. It might sound okay, but there are things that teachers and students are facing in school during this time. And if there is PTA meeting all the time, these things are coming up, I think that parents will be understanding what's going on. And also parents of these children should be understanding what's going on, and they will know what to do with their children at home, how to handle or bring up their children. Because some children are good at home, in school they are something else. And this communication should be back and forth with the teachers and the parents so that the children should have a better way. When my son was in one school in Yaoundé, he was very close to the teachers because he was class prefect and he was senior prefect at the end of the day. But his junior brother was also a class prefect. That one is the one that the teacher, any of them, both of them, their teachers sometimes will call me when they see that there's a drop, a drop in their results or in their courses. They'll call me and say, there's something wrong. He's not focusing and all of that. And when they mention that, I know that when they come home, I'm going to sit them down and talk to them and find out what's going on. But this happens, it's not just me. I'm sure that these teachers call most of the parents. That's why I said in the English section or Anglophone education in Cameroon, the system is different and the people are different because they take their time to make sure what they are doing, what they are giving to the student as education is not going into the water, right? And I think if we have to copy this in every school, be it Francophone schools, we should do it because this is very important, right? Because our children or the students, what they become tomorrow is something that is what we are going to face. It's not what we are going to be like. Where did it come from? We are seeing it happen now. A lot of students are doing things that are not right. Teachers are also scared, and some teachers don't care. So it's something to look into. The Minister of Secondary Education, please, in Cameroon, if you can look into these things, I think it's going to be better for the children and everybody. And for parents, especially because the parents, when they go to work, when they're hustling and making sure they pay their school fees, I'm very sure that they are praying, they are looking forward for their children to become better. And because they feel, some parents think that school is where children should go and learn and become better, not knowing that there is a lot of education from them needed. I've heard somebody said, why would the teacher be, or what is the work of the school if the child is behaving like smoking and doing things or drinking alcohol in school? That is the place of the school to educate that child. I say, no, you don't pour everything on the teachers because that's where the problem comes from. If you are not careful and if you are not that parent who will call your child at home and educate them, whatever they are doing out there, they know that their parents will not do anything. And this is where the problem comes from. So we should be very careful how we bring up our children, how we should focus on checking our children at home when they come back from school, what they did, how it's going to happen, and all of that. And we will have a better community with, school children and children at home. And the teachers too they will be more flexible with handling things easily. So guys, let's take this serious, and I'll end here for now. While we continue watching, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch our videos, comments, and let us know what you think about all these topics. Thank you very much and have a nice day.